Hello, my name is Pickles, and today I am going to Sevastopol. In order to get to Sevastopol, I will have to get within the video game itself. I will be sitting in my room, holding the alien isolation disc I bought earlier, wiping off the dollops of sperm from the surprise gay orgy that the Barney Bunch threw for me when I came back. I will be ready to jump into the disc, but just then, Kirk Johnson will burst through the fourth wall, totally shattering it, and say, "Drew, we've done the jump in the medium gag way too many times already. It's getting really old. This time you have to physically travel all the way to Zeta Reticuli, to the 22nd century." Then I will say, "What the fuck? How the fuck am I to do that?" Kirk Johnson will put up a pondering expression, and reply, "Well, even I don't know at the moment, but I'm sure you'll come up with something." Well, okay, I guess the gag law's really getting tired by now. However, first I'll just rape you. Then Kirk Johnson will just inexplicably disappear from existence, and I will be left extremely pissed off, because I missed my chance to rape him. I will leave my room with loud thudding steps, as I step over the unconscious, passed out Barney whose ruined asshole is gaping open towards the ceiling. I will be wandering my neighborhood all day, wondering how in the hell I could travel both through time and through space, when I will spot one of those British police phone booths across the street. Since this is not England, but in fact the United States, and of all of that the gayest state of all, New York, I will realize that it must belong to none other than Doctor Who, from the overrated Doctor Who series. I will go towards the booth, when inexplicably I will bump into an enormous line made up of niggers, with their buckets of spoiled KFC, who are complaining that Doctor Who is racist, because the show lead is white. Beaners with their job applications and welfare checks, who came to work for the Doctor. Feminist feminazis from Tumblr, who are complaining that Doctor Who is a misogynist show, and that the Doctor should undergo a sex change and have his genitals removed, before he is executed and replaced by his female partner, in order for the show to be truly feminist and promote gender equality. Sand niggers with their explosive undergarments, who are complaining that Doctor Who is Islamophobic, because the main character isn't Islamic. Gay British weed-smoking faggots with their huge bot stashes, who are so fucking stoned that they are hardly aware of being raped by the sand niggers in the ass, not like they would do anything about it, even if they weren't stoned, because it's not politically correct for the British to resist a sand nigger. After standing in line, for what seems like watching the entirety of the new Doctor Who series, but is actually 1,000 times the time Kirk Johnson invested in watching Doctor Who, I will pull out my mastodontic 300-mile-long cock and begin jerking off to an extremely sexy fantasy of Son Goku giving the giant face hugger from Prometheus a giant, deep-throating slurpy blowjob like blurd 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 blurd. The giant face hugger is gripping onto my 300-mile-long cock blurd blurd blurd. Oh my god. Oh my god, blurd 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 blurd, your tentacles really tickle my mastodontic 300-mile-long cock. Oh my god. Oh my god. Blurb blurb blurb, raping Son Goku in the ass, with the tentacles still gripping my cock like oh my god. And just before I blow my load, one of the sand niggers will turn around and say in the name of all if Europe is the cancer noise Islam is the answer of Profuria 9 /fluid F sick funk KLBBJGR. Upon hearing the magic words, I will stick my dick down the throat of the sand nigger, and fuck him like where is your god now? Using your plastic explosives, dynamite sticks, Quran, and turban, and tilde sound. Then I will stick my dick up the asses of all the males in the line, like smacking all the feminazis, like smack 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 smack. You feminazi squirrelkin should really just go back to Tumblr. Smack 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 smack. Good. Now they are dead. Okay, now here comes the cumulative swa 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 swa. Bag, that lost swallow. Walking over the carpet made of dead bodies, I will walk up to the booth, only to see that it is locked. But frustrated, I will try raping the door with my 300-mile-long cock, but when I jam it into the lock, a force field will repel it back straight into my face, falling on my ass, and with a huge red slap mark in my face, I will jump onto the top of the booth, and throw a gay butt tantrum, jumping up and down like boing 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 boing. It's been several minutes and I haven't gotten closer to getting to Sevastopol yet. Boing 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 boing. This is really pissing me off. Boing boing boing. But then I'll hear a silent whimper from one of the bushes, and I'll cease my tantrum. I will walk inside of the small park and I'll see that the doctor is being raped by a bunch of niggers. Next to them will be a bunch of hipster faggot social justice warriors from Tumblr, all of them skinny pussy whipped white guys with lots of white guilt, who are wearing expensive Armani clothing, and are cheering for the niggers and congratulating them on destroying white male privilege. I will slap the niggers off of the doctor, and then I'll rape them, like using the social justice warriors, as dildo using your ticketing signs, iPhones, Androids, your Valerie Solanas shirts, and your white coat, as dildo Bag, that lost swell. Then doctor who will stand up, and before he could say anything, I will flip him around, bend him over, and fuck him in the ass like I finally raped the doctor from Doctor Who. Yay. No, actually I couldn't give a shit. Okay, now time to turn you gay. Bag, that lost swell. Having been turned gay, the doctor will get up, turn around, and say, thanks, but actually I was already gay, and me and the niggers were having consensual sex. It was just those retarded social justice warriors who misinterpreted the act. Oh, I see. Well, my dear doctor, I need a ride to Sevastopol station, in the 22nd century. Can you get me there? He will respond, sure thing, I was supposed to go there eventually anyway. Putting up a surprised expression, I will say, oh, well, you see, a dangerous army of sick fucks, even by your standards, have escaped onto the station, and one of my assignments was to get them back and have them locked away in the sick fuck asylum. Me and the doctor will board the phone booth, and he will take us directly onto Sevastopol. Popping out in the Lawrence Sistek lobby, we'll find the place completely deserted and devoid of life. The only thing to remain will be a bunch of bloated human corpses with their mouths and anuses sewn together. I will walk up to one of them and say, wait, this wasn't in the game. We'll continue on, when out of nowhere, one of the aliens will pop out of the vents, and run for us with a shrieking scream. Just, when I'd be ready to defend myself using my 300-mile-long cock, the creature will run past me and hide in another vent. Me and the doctor will both scratch our heads in confusion, as we look at the vent, where the alien disappeared. The doctor will be examining the vent, where the creature came out of, when he will act like he heard something. He will raise his eyebrows towards me, and say, Drew, I heard some weird noise. Listen. I will walk over and crouch down, prying my ears in the vents, when I hear a weird noise. What the fuck was that? I'll ask. I don't know, the doctor will reply. Then, suddenly, something will grab the doctor by the legs and pull him through the vents. Before I could do anything, the doctor will have disappeared inside the vents. I will just shout after him, but I will hear no response. I will then realize that without the doctor, I am stuck on Sevastopol, so I will gruffly crawl inside of the vents and search for him. After spending hours looking through the vents, I will say, ah fuck it, and pop out in one of the rooms. I will look around, but it'll be just like any other room on Sevastopol. Then in the corner I will notice something odd, a balloon floating on the ceiling that looks like a face hugger. The sight of the face hugger balloon will get me super fucking horny for some reason, so I will proceed to use the balloon as dildos. Like this balloon is really sturdy. Then the face hugger balloon will pop in my anus, and to my surprise it will erupt in acidic yellow blood, and my ass will be on fire in the most unswell way. I will immediately stop jacking off, and scream at the top of my lungs in horrific pain like running out of the room. I will come across the nearest cleaning cart, and I will shove my acid-burned rear into the dirty, murky water to wash the acid blood off, before I grab the mop and wipe my goatee with it like with pipe. Ow, that was not fucking swell. I will still be in horrific pain from the acid burns, when I'll notice a medkit on one of the stands. I will grab it, and jam the needle into the rim of my asshole, which magically heals all of my pains. Walking through the dark, dimly lit corridors of Sevastopol in what seems to be the engineering section, I will suddenly hear sobbing from one of the rooms. Going nearer, and taking cover behind one of the boxes, I will see a human, and one of the full-grown aliens embracing in a corner, sobbing uncontrollably in horrific fear, as a giant round ominous figure walks towards them, holding some kind of cylindrical object in his hands. The human and the alien will both be begging for mercy, while sobbing uncontrollably, like please no, please God no, no. Just as I go closer, no, the shutters will close on the room, and I will be unable to get inside. Then out of nowhere, a bunch of working Joe androids will come and tell me that I am trespassing, and that they will take me to the supervisor. Supervisor. That's not in the game. Then one of them will grab my arm, but I will just pull out my mastodontic, 300-mile-long cock, and shove it into his inanimate, static rubbery face, and then I'll proceed to fuck all the androids, like why don't you ask me about Barney Bunch ass fucking safety protocols? Oh wait, what am I talking about? Now suck my cock now bend over, all of you. Okay, now time to make you creepy fucks even Taylor. Bag, that lost swallow. I will leave the huge stack of broken, cum-covered working Joes lying on the floor, as I continue to wander the station in search of the doctor, so I can get the fuck out of here. Not having any other options, I will go down to the reactor core to take a look in the hive. As the elevator arrives at the bottom, the door will open, and suddenly an entire army of aliens, facehuggers and humans all working together, with Amanda Ripley leading them, will burst into the elevator and throw me out. Before I could do anything, they will take the elevator and leave with it. Scratching my head, as I get up from the slime-covered ground, I will say, what the fuck? Why are the humans and the aliens working together all of a sudden? This makes no sense. I will continue deeper into the hive, only to suddenly catch a glimpse of one of the aliens floating by, having been turned into a xenomorph balloon. Numerous facehugger balloons, inflated working Joes and humans, will be floating near the ceiling, all still alive and suffering in agony. Suddenly, I will hear something. I will take cover behind one of the counters, as I see a human and two aliens run to the elevator. They will be banging on the door violently, while taking short glimpses behind them. Then, suddenly, in the shadows a small figure with two large ears will walk out of one of the corridors, and numerous other smaller creatures like it will swarm the three escapees and drag them back. It'll take a while for me to gather my courage, and I will walk over to where the others disappeared. I will come out into a giant room filled with helium canisters, vinyl tubing, and giant inflated humans, working Joes, aliens, and facehuggers floating around. In the middle I will see none other than Tails, Sonic and that overrated furry fuck clone Noah forcing vinyl tubes down the throats of the three victims, before they turn the taps in their helium canisters. Their victims will all inflate into gigantic, immobile blimps, and as they are inflating them, they sew their buttholes and mouths shut, before they let their victims loose. As I watch the blimps fly towards the ceiling, I will catch a glimpse of the doctor amongst one of the balloons, weeping uncontrollably. Now Clone Noah, Sonic and Tails will all proceed to jack off uncontrollably to their newest inflation fab material, as I walk out of the shadows and stand in front of them. The furry fucks will all stop and say, "Who the fuck are you? What the fuck are you doing here?" Then I'll be utterly shocked, and say, "What am I doing here? What the fuck are you three losers doing here? Shouldn't you stick to your own dysfunctional, autism-tainted franchises?" Then Clone Noah, who is now a gigantic, fat, autistic-looking deadbeat dad wearing nothing but sweat-tainted pajamas and a massive, leaky adult diaper, and stroking a gigantic bottle of Viagra, will walk up to me and say, "We're sick of being relegated solely to shitty failing console games, or, in my case, being totally forgotten, only to be remembered by a bunch of huge inflation fetishists in DeviantArt, for my own very overrated game that involves a lot of inflation fetishism. You see, I always wanted to inflate a few xenomorphs and facehuggers." Then Sonic, after having finished snorting up 12 lines of blue crystal meth from one of the desks, will walk up to me and say, "He's right, come. We're so fucking sick of it, man. I am sick of being autism feed for retarded autistic, batshit insane femmes and being handled by an incompetent company." Then Sonic will break down onto his knees and begin crying. "I had a future once. I had something ahead of me, but now I'm just fetish fuel for adult babies and inflation fetishists. I've been living with that for so long, that I became the cancer myself." Then he will dress up as an adult baby, sucking on a gigantic soother and shitting green bile into his adult diaper, bile so green that Kirk Johnson's liver explodes out of his chest, and he dies in the spot. Then Tails will turn towards me and say, "After Sega acquired the rights to the Alien games, we knew it was our chance for escape, so we sold our souls to a horrific demon from hell, and fled here to the 22nd century, to the hive where the queen once was, because this area is never shown in Alien isolation. But just then, the final slap in the face was to find out that we got replaced by a bunch of shitty doppelgangers, whom you know as the Sonic Boomcast. After that we just didn't give a shit anymore, and we've embraced what we've become. Then Tails will grab one of the eggs, and proceed to smash his face straight into the egg, and pull his head out with the face hugger fully attached, thus fulfilling his very own fetish, as he moans erotically through the face hugger's junk being shoved down his throat. Finally, Clone Noah will turn to me and say, "So you see, Drew, we are going to have our revenge in the world. We'll turn everyone into our fat toys for this crime against video game characters." Then I'll laugh uncontrollably, like ha 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 ha. This will cause them to stare at me with death glares, and say, "What the fuck is so funny?" I don't give a shit about any of this. I just came here for a Drew Pickles Goes to video, but I wasn't expecting this to happen. Holy shit, this is rich. Then I will proceed to grab all three of them, and I'll pull off Sonic's diaper, and shove my cock through his body straight into Clone Noah's face, which will cause his ass to emit a high-pitched and then shove my cock into Tails' ass, and send it sticking straight through the facehugger covering his face. Then I'll rape them, like using your inflated working joes, inflated people, and vinyl tubes, and the pieces of the fourth wall, as till the sound. This is random. The truth is that Kurt Johnson had really no idea what to do here, so he just pulled random ideas from his time on Cringe Channel and DeviantArt, using your two large ears, your facehugger, your two tails, and your spikes, and the pieces of the fourth wall, as till the sound. Okay, now here comes the cumulative egg. That was swell. I'll stare at the dead bodies of Clone Noah, Sonic and Tails, when suddenly out of nowhere the big fat fucking manager will burst out of his office. I'll see that it is none other than A. Lewis, the most euphoric atheist ever known, and he'll be wearing a Clone Noah shirt, his fedora, and a leather jacket. He'll look at me and say, "What the fuck is going on here?" Then I'll be even more confused, and say, "What the fuck? I've already raped you in Kurt Johnson's previous video. Drew Pickles Goes to 7th Heaven. What the fuck are you doing here?" "Oh, it's you." He'll respond. "I was banned from hell after I tried to inflate Lucifer, and later I convinced Tails, Sonic and Clone Noah to sell their souls to me, in return for helping them escape from their shitty franchises. Ever since then I've been using them to indulge in my furry inflation fetishes. Now, god damn it, shut the fuck up already. Using your fedora, Carl Sagan books, and your Clone Noah shirts, as till the sound. Now suck my cock blurg. Egg, that was swell. Oh wow, that sounds so cum-guzzlingly, inflation fetishist bashingly, overrated shitty game blastingly, android rapingly, Doctor Who rapingly swell. I think I will go do all that right now. Goodbye my sexy faggots.